Hey guys, this is Bando Guy 4 with another episode of Super Mario RPG Legend of the Seven Stars, and I'm going to show off just a few things before I go on to Smithy's Factory and finish up this game. In one of these stores, the middle one, you might remember the Mushroom Boy, and I only showed a couple mushrooms. Ooh, this one's a berry mushroom, so you get a maple syrup for that. There are also regular mushrooms, there are flower mushrooms, which will actually give you a flower tab, and that's basically it. The flower mushroom is the rarest, but that's the only way you can technically get infinite mushrooms, or infinite flower points. There's a rock candy one too. Forgot about that one. But if you're like me and have missed some flowers along the way, you can look in the forest for flower mushrooms and get more flower points from that. And the last thing I will show is Moleville. You should still have your shiny stone from opening up the door to Culex, and well, you can get fireworks from this guy, and I believe I said when I had them that the more flower points you have, the more there are at the end of the game, so I thought I'd buy another one to make it more interesting. I'm thinking this person wants the carbo cookie, and there's someone I'm supposed to be able to give the shiny stone to get a carbo cookie. Ah, yes, this one. So, once you've used your shiny stone, you don't need it anymore, and you can give this person the carbo cookie to do the Midas River course again for free, but I don't feel like doing it. So, I will just get out of here. So, back through the gate. And for the final time, the last area of the game, Smithy's Factory. So, the music is very metallic. You have this jumping mechanic again, where you have to jump on the screws to advance them along the path, and if you fall off, you go back to the start. So, you can usually get safely 3 jumps, and then once you get close enough, just go ahead and jump along. There are several sort of mini bosses in the factory here, and none of them are really tough. And oftentimes there will be monsters floating along by the screws, and if you're quick you can avoid them, otherwise tough luck. There are more mushroom enemies like the ones in the forest maze that they look like little mushrooms on the ground but are actually monsters. And I'm thinking there aren't really many treasures to get here, so there's no reason to go along every path. They all lead to the same place anyway. Here, you step on this button to open up the next area. And right here is the final hidden treasure of the game. It just seals you up. So that's all 39 or however many. And here's another treasure chest, which is the Ultra Hammer, which is Mario's kind of best weapon, unless you got the seed and fertilizer. But at this point it would just weaken us a whole lot. So you jump down here and you get your first boss of the area. It's Mario. How did you get here? You better do something. And this is Countdown and Ding-a-ling. Countdown has 2400 HP, and the Dinglings have 1200 apiece. They're weak to Ice and Thunder, and since I don't have Mallow, it really doesn't matter. So I'm going to go ahead and take out the Dinglings first. Mortal Blow on a random character. And of course, we all recognize Darkstar, but since this isn't Culex, it's not that threatening. It's 1 o'clock, time to play. The hands on the countdown will actually move, and depending on what number they wind up on, he'll use a different attack, so we'll see. Hopefully I won't see too many of them before this battle ends, but I don't know them all off the top of my head, so whatever gets used on me is what I'll be able to tell you. So, a lot of time passes and that puts you to sleep at 5 o'clock. And did I boost Gino? Yes. So, this is Toadstool and Mario's still asleep. So I'll miss his turn for a moment. And at 6 o'clock, someone gets fully healed, which is just not cool. I think it's either 2 or 3 that's a small recovery. And since I got one more rock candy than I intended to, I guess I'll go ahead and use one of them on this guy. Not like I need to save them all for the end. So there's one Dingling gone. Missed again. Dinner time. It's Water Blast. I don't see how Water Blast is related to dinner, but oh well. My sincerest apologies to Chugga Conroy for what I'm about to say. That's Nintendo logic. Go watch him because he's amazing. At 9 o'clock, nothing happens. And like I said during the Exor fight, at this point you can just basically wail away on whoever you're gonna fight and eventually they'll die. That actually does make sense. This brain is part of the sun. And I'm guessing that we're not going to get to see what 2, 3, and 4 are. So, that's the first of the many bosses you get in this area. And everyone's level 20 now. So, another spring will appear, and save point here. And I'll actually use that backup save, since I was complaining about losing the file that I saved over in the last episode. And here are copies of the Axum Rangers that you'll see all over the place. And I fell down. That one will just take you to a flower and another full recovery. So, that one's not too bad to fall down. I'm actually kind of happy I did, because I forgot about this. But, you'll see clones of various enemies that you fought either in boss areas or along with the bosses in previous areas. And unlike in the... I honestly don't remember if you can actually get hit in the forest maze with the arrows, but here you can, and it'll just stun you for a moment. It's not like you get hurt or anything. Maybe I did get hurt one. Yes, Mario got hurt one. But as long as you don't get hit next to... I believe all the clones are weak to Mallow's Thunder, so if you want to use him in this area, that would not be a bad time to do so. But the clones are technically stronger than the boss the first time you fought them, but since you should be a much higher level now, it doesn't make a whole lot of difference. Get rid of one of the maple syrups. So I could probably get rid of the Energizer instead. There's nothing too crazy about this area, as long as you just look at what direction the belts are moving. You don't have to worry about getting swept away. And there are no real new enemies here, they're all just stronger versions of enemies you fought many times before. Come over here for another treasure chest, another max mushroom. I don't really need it, but I don't need an Energizer less, so. Chances are you're gonna fight the Uradovich clone coming up here. And he does still have his Y, X, and A buttons that he'll shoot his arrows at. But when you first fought Uradovich, you didn't even have any armor for Geno, so at this point, you shouldn't have any trouble with him. These guys do still have the boss music, since they are technically as strong as bosses. But they're not a huge threat. So you see, I didn't need the boost or anything, just a couple rounds and he's gone. But if you feel like you want to grind for levels for some reason, then this is a alright place to do it, because they give you a fair amount of experience. And if I'm not mistaken, the machine-made Axum Rangers will have the same powers and weaknesses as the original ones. Apparently Mushroom is worse than Mute, according to this game. And just therapy on Mario to get rid of the Mushroom. So, with the exception of the people who increased the defense, we took them all out in one turn, so. And we still got 30 experience, which at no point in the game is bad. But for the most part, I just try to avoid these battles. I'll wait till another clone comes by to minimize my chances of having to fight another one. It's pretty close. I'll cut this one out. Okay, now that I'm done with that, I will go ahead and mention that because these guys were bosses at one point in time, Geno World will not work on them. But here's another save point, and my time's getting fairly high up. So I will end off this episode here. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Feel free to comment. And if you've liked my videos so far, subscribe because there's more on the way. This has been BandoGuy4, and I will see you guys next time.